I was thinking about this today. We'll go around the table. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about this or who you would choose. There's one guy you could call up in the room and say, I need truth serum and I need candor. Give me your honest truth. Who do you think you should have in the net if both guys are healthy? Campbell or Anderson? Which guy in the room would you call and ask that question if that request would be granted? 100% true.
Which player on the Leafs would I ask who should go in net?
Yes.
Auston Matthews, because he's buddies with Freddie Anderson, and he clearly loves Jack Campbell, and he would have to just make a decision on what's best for the team.
Mm-hmm. Carlo?
That's the guy that I want to hear from.
I would say Matthews too, but I won't say the same thing as Zoe. I'll go Joe Thornton, because Joe Thornton is the oldest guy in the room. This guy's been around. He's never won a championship. He's starving to win a championship, and he's probably been through situations like this too.
That's who I was thinking is Jumbo. He's got no relationship with either guy. He's simply in it to win it. Couldn't care less about next year. Couldn't care less about relationships. Doesn't remember Boston, Washington, Columbus. Is just blunt. I'm here. I got to get it. Who do I think is the guy that should be in net? I'd love to get that answer. And he'd never give it to you, nor would you expect them to. They're not good. It's not about burying Freddie Anderson either. It's not about Freddie being a bad guy or anything like that. But what Campbell is doing now probably deserves even more hype. Like 10 wins in a row in this town is remarkably significant. So Jack Campbell does it again last night and sets a franchise record, 10 wins in a row. This is a franchise that was not established in 2015. It was established a long time ago, and this guy's putting up numbers that are truly incredible, and he continues to play very, very well. And his teammates clearly love the guy, which is worth something, but they're going out of their way to talk about how proud they are of him, how happy they are for him. And I posed this question to Owen Carlo earlier, and I'll pose it to you. If you could call up one guy in the room and get a 100% honest answer, full, candid answer, and ask him, who do you think should start? If both guys are healthy, who do you have more faith in? Who do you want if you got to get a win that night, Campbell or Anderson? Which guy in the room would you call and why?
Who would I call for the answer?
Yeah. Who do you really want to hear an honest?
Can they answer it anonymously?
Yes. You
Morgan
and him.
Riley.
Morgan Riley. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I have that sense about Riley that like he's a level head, he's a common sense thinker. He doesn't get flustered one way or another. He thinks. You know, he's not an emotional roller coaster.
Right.
But he's the first guy that comes to mind.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Carlo and I both said Thornton because he's got no history with them. All he wants to do is win, and he's done at the end of the year. Like, it's just there's no emotion, there's no relationship, and O said Matthews because of what comes with his territory and what's at stake. But I guess what I'm driving at is, and you guys have been in the room, like, they have a feeling of who they think should be playing. They'll never say it publicly, nor would you expect it. But the boys kind of know. Like, even if Freddie's back at 100%, I wouldn't be shocked if a majority of them are like, great to have you, Freddie, let's go. But Jack's still our guy, right, Sheldon?
Don't you think these people have conversations, though, Brian? Like, when it comes down to the time, don't you think Sheldon Keefe's smart enough and Kyle and everybody involved? They're not just going to say Freddie kind of looks like the number one, we're going to put him in. They'll get a sense for who everybody kind of has a vibe for, and that's what they'll do. Whatever gives them the best chance to win. It doesn't matter who it is.
See, I think when Anderson's cleared rather, and he's back on the ice and he's playing, and if that does happen, they start to play him a little bit here. Just for no other reason than you got to find out where he's at. Like, if he's a rusty gate, well, then you can't put him in. But what if he goes back in and he is lights out? Well, then you got a decision to make. But if he's not lights out, you already know you got a guy that's lights out. You're not playing him 6 in a row. You're in a you're going to be in a place of luxury here, I think, where you're pretty secure in your playoff positioning, and you got to find out at what stage Anderson's at. You're going to have to find out eventually.
Yeah.
And they're going to need the information before Monday, too, to decide what they do with that
Yeah,
position.
but I don't think they're good. Whatever their information is, they're sure as hell not telling us. But
no kidding.
I would. I mean, he's not going to be on the ice, so they have to. Now you're believing what your trainers say. your medical people say, when's he going to be back? And we talked yesterday, and if it's obviously not a broken finger or foot or something, because you'd have a timeline. Yeah. And they're doing their best, I assume, to try and estimate when he's going to be back. But that's all they're going to get by Monday.